Hello, my name is Brändli. I'm a dating and relationship coach, and I help divorced singles go on to find love again and create extraordinary relationships. In this video, I want to share with you my top 8 tips for dating as a single parent. When I say dating as a single parent, I'm referring to dating with the goal of finding a long-term committed relationship. If you are currently casually dating and you have no intention of taking that relationship further, then it isn't necessary to involve your children. However, if you are looking for a new life partner, somebody to build a future with, then you're going to want to take these tips into consideration. Tip number 1 is you need to start talking to your children about you dating as soon as possible. Now, after the separation or your divorce, you need to take time to heal. That's really important. Jumping into the dating scene before you're ready and using it as a way to get over your ex is not the solution. I have a whole program that helps people to heal from their past relationship. If you want to visit my website, I'll just put it in below. You can join me there and I can help you on learning to overcome that initial phase. But once you've gone through the healing process, you want to start talking to your kids about what it's going to be like when you start dating, when you meet somebody, when you invite them to meet them. It's also a great opportunity for you to ask questions and to see how they're feeling, what their concerns are, maybe what they're thinking. It's also important to remember that you are the parent in this. Kids will express their concerns and their fears. That doesn't mean that that's a reason for you not to start dating, but it is a reason for you to parent them and to help encourage them and to guide them through the process and the change that's going to come as you enter the dating scene again. Tip number 2 is the easiest way to date as a single parent is to have a fixed date night, to actually commit that every week you're going to take time for the purpose of dating. If you meet somebody organically or online, you're going to want to be able to have an opportunity to meet them relatively quickly and not have to say in 2 weeks when my kids are at the other parent, I can meet you. So set a fixed date night. And if you have young children, you're going to need to arrange childcare for that day. So either hire a kid sitter for a fixed night a week, get your parents or family involved, or set up a swap with another family and their kids. It could be another single friend who's also dating, or even a friend who has, a partner and children. You take their kids one night and they take your kids another night. So you've got one evening free. So even if you don't have a date one week, use that day for some well-deserved and needed me time. You might go meet another friend. Maybe you just want to spend some time alone, or head out to a cafe and just read a book and have a coffee by yourself. Whatever it is, it's great to have one night a week that you call date night, whether that's a date with somebody else or with yourself. And once you've established that, maintain it in your new relationship as a date night with your new partner. Tip number 3 is date other single parents. Dating as a single parent is often met with some reluctance from people who don't have children because they don't understand what it means when your child is sick and you need to be there, or they have a ballet or a soccer game and you need to attend that, and you can't be spontaneous and just drop everything and go to some kind of fun event that they just saw on the internet or pop up in their notifications. So dating other single parents means that you both have a similar experience that you can share, as well as the understanding for each other when the children's needs need to come first. Number 4 goes against a lot of the information you're going to see out there, and that is introduce your children early on in the dating process. It doesn't need to be the first or second date, but you don't want to wait, as a lot of people say, 6 or 12 months to introduce your children. And there's 2 reasons that I recommend this. First of all, you come as a package. You're not just a single man or a single woman dating. It's not about creating a couple this time. It's about creating a family, and that involves children. That might just be your children, or it could be both of you that have children. And so you want to have the opportunity early on in the process to meet those children, for them to meet your children, to see what that complete package is. The other thing is that if you wait 6 or 12 months to introduce your children or meet their children, and it doesn't gel, there's some kind of, tension, and you just cannot connect with those children, it's going to be really difficult to move that relationship forward. And now you've just invested 6 or 12 months of your life in a relationship that you can't continue with. So I always recommend, once you've had a few dates and you've determined that you are compatible with this person and you want to get to know them more, it's great to have that first meeting with the children. Make it informal. It doesn't have to be, a big dinner or something. It could be a walk in the park. It could be, meeting for an ice cream, something small. But have the chance that the person you're dating gets to see you in your other role as a parent, and also that your children get to have an impression of who their mom or dad is spending time with. It's really important. In terms of introducing older children, if you have teenagers, maybe young adults, you cannot arrange a meeting without their permission, but do invite them. Create opportunities where they are invited to meet this person that you're dating if they so choose. Often with older children, this can take time for them to be ready to do that, but continue to offer the invitation, and at some point they'll be ready to step in and meet that person. Tip number 5 is don't get caught in the "I need to protect my children" trap. This is something that a lot of people that I work with tell me is, I need to protect my children because they get attached to people I'm dating and I don't want them to get hurt if the relationship doesn't work out. Oftentimes, this is an excuse we use to stop ourselves from dating. And the reason being is that we all know life is full of loss, right? We lose grandparents, kids go to school and they fall in love with the teacher, and next year they're in a different class and they lose that relationship with the teacher. The most difficult relationship for children to lose is to be there day in and day out with that other parent. As a result of a divorce, they don't have that connection. But children are resilient. You've supported them, their other parent has supported them, and they are able to cope and manage with the loss of that nuclear family unit. And they will certainly be able to cope with the loss of somebody you're dating coming into your life and then potentially leaving. Just like you have friends that come and go, or you bring people into your home and they see them one time and they don't see them again. That's part of life. And so don't get caught in this trap of using that as your excuse of why you're not dating or why you're keeping things casual. You deserve to have a healthy relationship, a life partner, and the only way that you're going to be able to achieve that is by actually committing to the process. And that involves bringing your children into that process. Now, tip number 5 is, although you want to introduce them early, you don't want to create this instant family, which is, once we've started to involve the children, now we spend all of our time together. In the early dating process, it's really important that you have time as a couple. And as I mentioned earlier, that fixed date night is super for that. It means it's time for just the two of you to be alone, to get to know each other and not have the distraction of having children, buying for your attention. The other thing is it's also still important to keep that time just with your children without the person you're dating being involved, so that you can continue to develop that bond and connection with your children independent of your dating life. So while it's important to involve them early, you want to limit the amount of that involvement, at least until you know that this is a relationship that is going to be a long-term committed relationship. And then you can start to look at where do you find time to spend as a family. But that doesn't come early on in the dating process. Tip number 7 is you're building a family and not just a couple. It's not just about you and the person you're dating. This involves all the people in the family, including your children. And so you want to take it slow as you progress through the different milestones of a relationship. There's no rush, to get engaged or move in together. You need to allow everybody the time to adjust and adapt to the new situation. And finally, dating as a single parent, you need to expect that your children will have mixed emotions. Children often want their parents back together. Be prepared to hear that. Have those discussions. Let them know that you and your ex-partner separated for a reason, that you aren't getting back together, but let them know that this new person in your life is not going to replace the other parent. You need to be prepared for some resistance, some change. They might be, today very excited about this new person you're dating, and tomorrow they might feel reluctant to engage with them or bond, or they might even have hurtful words like they hate them. This is part of adapting to a new situation. So be prepared for that, but don't let that derail your goals of finding a life partner I've worked with too many people who said, I met somebody years ago, my children didn't like it, so I made a decision in that moment not to date until they were grown and out of the house or off to school. And those are many precious years that you don't want to give up. So rather than avoiding the situation, help your children to learn to navigate the new situation. I hope that these tips were really helpful for you. As I said, if you ever need support in letting go of past relationships and learning how to find the one and build that healthy relationship that you desire and deserve, reach out to me, connect with me. I'm going to put also a link to my free masterclass of how divorced singles are using my 5+2 dating blueprint to go on and find the one. You're welcome to register and join me for that session, and I'll see you on the next video.